biggest fear?
What's the worst lie you ever told? Did you ever get caught?
Do you have any phobias?
How do you handle people you don't like?
What are your personal aspirations?
Do you have a sexual fantasy no one knows about?
Hey, it's your man, MisterDirect, on blogtalkradio.com. We'll answer those questions and more on Real Talk.
Real people.
Real conversation.
Real talk.
Oh, shit. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your man, MisterDirect, doing what I do, bringing you a little bit of the Real Talk on Sunday. I don't even know what day it is. I forgot my entrance song. What kind of a man forgets his own entrance song? Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. But you know what we're about to do. You know where we're about to go.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, finally, Mr. Direct! It's back to the building.
Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, it's your man, the myth, the legend, the only one that can do what he does and does it oh so well. Been off, been in hiatus, been on vacation, been working, been dipping, been dapping, been doing anything and everything except for the Real Talk show that I know you guys look forward to every week. I sound a little energized, but I'm actually a little tired. I went out late last night, smoked a little, drank a little, smoked a little, drank a little, had a little early morning sex, and right now, I'm a little bit drained. I haven't gotten any work done today, but it could be worse. I could be the K-Man, so life's grand at this point, isn't it? Ladies and gentlemen, you know what's going on. You know what we do. We bring you Real Talk, like only the people of the Real Talk family can bring you. I'm your host, MisterDirect. I've got my co-host on here, the K-Man. I've got the confused lesbian Rose. Unfortunately, Lady Rose isn't with us, and we've got Double D. We look forward to having a show with you tonight. We're going to talk about lady leggings. Is it okay that women wear leggings in front of us? Is it? Do we really need to? Is it their fault that we stare? I've got a story right there for you. A woman wrote an article about that. Also, midget fighting on the Jerry Springer show. Why do we get our fix on midget fighting? I don't know. Did you know that there was a man, George Soros? George Soros spent $33 million to bankroll Ferguson protests. Did you know that a woman is telling a magazine that she's marrying her father and she's moving to New Jersey because it's legal? She's saying it's legal in New Jersey to marry her father. Adult incest is okay because it's between two adults. President Obama is offering tax hikes on the wealthy, $500,000 a year or more, and tax breaks for married couples, and also offering free college. I wonder how that's going to go over. As well, we've got some lady in South Jersey that set her kid on fire. Kimberly Dorviller. Sounds like she's got a fucking condition, and if you've seen her face, you would know she has a condition of stupidity. Who sets their baby on fire? What type of fuckwad are you? Ladies and gentlemen, it is the best time of the day that we do what we do only as we do it. You can love it. You can appreciate it. You can say that you don't want to hear it, but your man, MisterDirect, is going to bring it to you like only he knows how to bring it to you. It's been a lot of weeks, a lot of craziness, but I'm going to do my best to make sure I keep you entertained. We're going to get you into the mood real quick first. We're going to bring you up with a little Sam. I'm Not the Only One. Little depressing, but a very good song. Love the song lyrically. We'll be back after the break. You know what we do. It's Real Talk, baby. That's a real... Listen, the white boys are taking over R&B. It's a shame. The white boys are taking over R&B. Did you hear him? You say that I'm crazy, but they know. I know I'm not the only one. Well, your man, MisterDirect, Real Talk Radio, I am the only one. I'm the only one that's crazy enough to come up with Real Talk, bring on the people that hosted with me the way I did, and continue to give you nothing but the real talk truth. Joining me today on the show, as usual, this is actually his show, but he's asking me, what time are we starting the show? Can someone explain to me why he's asking me what time we're starting the show? Too busy eating his wife's famous pot roast. The K-Man has decided to join us today. K-Man, how are you doing today?
Well, I'm doing fine there, Mr. Direct. Thank you for asking. And if you could get some of this pot roast, believe me, you'd be into it too. She makes a killer pot roast. It's I'm getting old. I forget, what time things are and everything. It's good to have hired help around like you to remind me where I got to be, and
Did you call me hired help?
Yes, he did.
No, I didn't call you hired help. I made a statement saying it's nice to have hired help.
You called me hired help. What a dick. As usual, joining us every week, you hear her chuckle, you hear her laugh. She goes by the name of Double D, and it's not because she's got big titties. Double D, how you doing tonight?
I'm fantastic. We got above freezing here in the Midwest, so it's practically a holiday for us.
Yeah,
Hurry up,
I
folks.
hear you.
Wash your cars, folks. It might be your last
It's going to be mid-60s here tomorrow. Mid-60s here tomorrow.
You know, I've warned you about bragging about the fact that you get good weather down there, okay? First of all,
we haven't had good weather.
Let's give a big congratulations to the Seattle Seahawks that came from behind and won. Okay?
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Ooh,
Big ups to the Seattle Seahawks for coming from behind and winning. That is what you call a team that never gave up. They basically had the game lost with 2 minutes and 35 seconds to go, and they pulled out a victory in overtime. That is what you call perseverance, believing in yourself, and continuing to push it no matter what. Congratulations.
Yeah,
no, that's what you call Bostic shitting the bed. Somebody put Bostic on suicide watch.
Oh, my God, right? You know he's shooting himself in the head like, I cannot believe I missed that ball. That would have sent us to the Super Bowl. What a I don't feel bad for him because that's the name of the game. Big up to Sharon Hudson out there. Sharon's listening to us out there in Real Talk Land. She hit me on Facebook and let me know that she was listening to the show. I'm pretty sure she's in chat, too. She's probably the one solo guest that's in chat. So, Sharon, if you're out there, say hello. Let everybody know. If you want to call in, the guest call-in number is 347-205-9571. I'm your man, Mr. Direct. It's the K-Man. It's Double D. And also, she decided to show up after I dissed the shit out of her and told her she wasn't going to show up. She's the elderly lady that thinks she runs the show. And I say elderly with nothing but respect because basically she thinks she can tell me what to fucking do all the damn time. Lady Rose has decided to join us. Lady Rose, how are you doing today?
I can't wait till I get my hands on you.
You straight up
You're going to get such a beating, Marklin. Such a beating.
Why did you just call me by my government name?
I'm sorry, Mr. Direct, because
we do not refer to people by government names in here.
That's what you get for calling her elderly, yo.
Yeah, but we can call them by their government categories. We can call them by their government categories.
You can call exactly. I call her by her government category. She is a senior citizen. There was nothing wrong with that. If you want to fault me for anything, fault me for being rude and letting people know that she's old as shit. But you don't sit there and fault me for calling
I ain't as old as the K-Man.
Well, she's got that going for her.
Suddenly I don't feel any better.
Well, first of all, I want you guys to know I missed you. Beautiful. I know you guys don't miss me, but fuck y'all anyway. I missed you guys. It was hellstorm not being around you guys. As well, I do want to kind of apologize for all the craziness that's been going on. School's been kicking my ass. I've got a lot of other stuff going over my head. So death in the family, all that other stuff going on. So I sometimes have been getting lackadaisical because Real Talk has not been able to be my focus. I appreciate your patience while I have been going through this. And the reason why is because I know you guys love Real Talk the way I do. It's a way to get away for the week for a few hours, laugh, talk about interesting articles, and as well just enjoy the banter that we get to do together. So please accept my sincerest apologies. And let's be honest, this is a K-Man show. So if I don't make it, the K-Man is
all evidence to the contrary.
Why does this dude got pictures this nasty? See, people are just nasty. I figured it out. What we're going to do first of all, it's been interesting. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to talk to the K-Man first because he's first on the list. And this is actually supposed to be his show. So K-Man, I got to ask you, what's been going on in the world of the K-Man?
Oh, well, not a lot, really. Doing my VFW work, legislative work and everything, and talking to a lot of folks about legislation coming up both here in the state and on the federal level. And the new senators and congressmen are busy right now trying to find their offices, but we're setting up some meetings for down the road. So taking care of veterans issues and, college football's over, so I'm pretty much going into hibernation after the Super Bowl until the spring. Other than that, everything, because all we got is basketball now after the Super Bowl, and I'm a 5'7" white guy, so that kind of kills sports for me.
Because you're 5'7" doesn't mean you can't appreciate the game of basketball. I mean, come on, it's basketball.
You're right.
Basketball is as bad as tennis is.
It is. You watch a basketball game, you watch the last minute and a half, you've seen the whole game. So
you touched my pinky, foul.
Yeah.
Hold on. That's the game that they created today. Because the game, if you guys really understand the game of basketball, it used to be rough. Like what you see these guys doing today with this shit is ridiculous. The game of basketball used to be very rough. Back when Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, and Michael Jordan, when he first started playing, you went to the hole, you knew you were going to get hit. They didn't call fouls the way they call fouls now. They call fouls now just because you look at somebody the wrong way, literally. So let's not say...
Same thing in football. Same thing in football, man. They're turning football into a pansy sport.
You're absolutely right.
And I'll agree with you. They are. And it's because as much as I say I'm liberal or whatever, or that I believe in progressiveness, there are too many people coming out and talking shit against the violence of the game. But don't we watch football for the violence?
I don't.
You don't watch football for the violence?
I mean, you like to see a good hit. You like to see aggressive defense. You like to see good tackling. I mean, that's all part of the game. It is a contact sport after all. Whatever happened to the concept of contact sport? Now, Jesus, your helmet falls off, you got to leave the game.
Just for you guys to know, not to interrupt you, you are listening to Real Talk Radio with your host, MisterDirect, and as well, New England is up 7-0. Vinatieri from the Colts just missed a field goal attempt. So the New England is up 7-0. I don't think this is going to be a blowout like last week with them, but it looks like I believe New England is going to take this one. For those of you who don't like New England and have problems with Tom Brady, suck it up. It looks like they're going to make it to another chip.
They're a cheating team.
I don't believe they're a cheating team. I think that's bullshit.
Nope, sorry.
Why would you say they're cheating?
Because you go back 2 years ago when they were watching through the cameras on the field. It was a home game, and they were watching the play. I don't know what team it was. Gary, what team was that? Where they were watching the plays on their playbook and calling
Wasn't
it
that
into
Cleveland?
Was it Cleveland? Was it Browns?
Might
okay. And I think they cheat.
They were stealing signals.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just don't like them. And I got a lot of friends who are New England fans, unfortunately.
Listen, let's get something straight here. You can hate New England all you want. They never proved that New England actually cheated. They never proved it. What they penalized New England, no. They penalized
Then why did they penalize them?
They fined the coach $100,000.
Yeah, they fined him $100,000, Mr. Direct.
They fined him for a loophole that they did not cover. It was the fact that it was an ethics issue, meaning why would you do it? But that's what you didn't tell me I couldn't do it, so I'm going to do it. That's what it was. And the scandal was that they had a guy in the booth reading the signals, meaning they had a guy in the stands. He would read the signals from the other team, and then he would send the signal down to the team. That's what the scandal was.
That's not cheating?
Yeah, actually, you're not allowed to use any kind of electronic communication media of any sort for 90 minutes before the game through the game's end.
And I agree with you.
Texting or anything like that. So they were communicating electronically, so they in fact broke the rules.
And they did, but
sorry, and that's the only reason why I hate them.
That's a crazy reason not to like them. Come on.
Oh, okay.
That's one reason. Come on. Think about.
And the Browns weren't even my team.
Look at the game with Dallas. Look at the game with Dallas.
I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about that. I do not even want to go there. I do not want to go there.
It was the refs versus who was Dallas playing when they won?
Green Bay.
Who were they playing? No, not Green Bay. The other one. No, not Green Bay. The other team that they won. The wild card. Who did they play?
Last week's game was against Green Bay.
Excuse me. The game before that.
Pittsburgh?
No, they didn't play.
They played in the wild card weekend. Who did they play the wild card weekend?
Honey, who did my Cowboys play in the wild card playoff? Who did the Cowboys play?
Oh, you're not talking to me?
On the wild card?
Not that honey. The other honey.
Oh.
No, not last week's game. He doesn't remember either.
You really don't know who you guys played?
No, I don't.
So you're
still
saying
can't
it
get
was
over
a
last
memorable
week's
game
game.
then?
Wow.
No, because we won. Look it up real quick, MisterDirect.
I will tell you right now, it was Detroit Lions, and it was the refs,
Detroit.
It was the referees, it was the Dallas referees versus the Detroit Lions. They had a lot of calls.
That were wrong, yeah, I know. And we got a lot of calls that were called against us, so it was payback. I understand that. I've already gone over this with my son.
Exactly. Yeah. So don't get mad.
But that was even the call that was last week against Green Bay. Everyone was sitting there saying, when did that rule come in effect? No one even knew about that rule. That should have been a touchdown. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Please let's not discuss it. I'm still upset over it.
Let's go up to Double D. Double D, what's been going on with you? Because I can see that Lady Rose is just upset. She can't accept the fact that the Dallas Cowboys suck.
Well,
and as long as Tony Romo is your quarterback, as long as Homo Romo is your quarterback, you will never win a championship.
You don't know that. He did damn well this year.
Homo Romo is your quarterback. You will not win shit. The conversation is being shifted over to Double D. Double D, how are you doing?
Well, you know me. The Packers lost, so that's the only better thing than the Vikings winning is the Packers losing. So I'm happy. That's how it goes here in Minnesota. The only thing better than the Vikings winning.
Can you feel the hate tonight?
Freaking losing, because that's the thing. That's all we got. All right, we don't have a Super Bowl. We don't have a ring. So for us, we're just like, ha, those fuckers didn't get it this time. Ha! We're just like that's all we got.
Only in America, man. Like, you know, I don't care what the terrorists are doing. I hope the Packers plane goes down in flames. Only in America, man.
Here's what we hate our own. It's like going to a high school reunion and not being the fattest guy there. You know, you're like she's fatter than me. Ha! Like that's what it is.
Oh my God!
You're still a lose. You're still fat. You're still a loser, but I'm not a bigger loser than you. Ha! Yeah, that's it.
Can I hang out with you tonight? You're fatter than me.
Exactly. That's all it is. It's that kind of satisfaction. It's that personal satisfaction of not being the fattest person at the high school reunion. That's what we get here in Minnesota. That's all we got. That's it.
That's sad.
I know. That's why, you know, football, it's really not a happy time for us. It really isn't. But other than the Packers losing.
Up to a lot. It sounds like you've been up to a lot. How's the love life treating you?
Love life is awesome. Long distance sweetheart moved here from New York City on Christmas Day is when he showed up. So that's good. I've been busy as hell. I've been working hard, planning a wedding.
Planning the wedding? Wait a minute.
Wait, hold on. You heard it first on Real Talk, folks. Double D's getting it.
Baby!
Are you serious? Are you seriously getting married?
I am seriously getting married, yes.
Yay!
You got to tell us when that is.
Hold on.
Yes.
Hold on for a second. Hold the fucking phone. Hold the fucking phone. Right? Hold on for a second, all right? Bitch, where the fuck was my invitation?
She said she was planning it. They didn't even go out yet.
I haven't even done the save the date yet.
This is breaking news on Real Talk.
Breaking news. Those of you getting married and did not send me a fucking invite.
I didn't invite anybody yet.
I don't care about anybody. I'm talking about me. I'm not anybody.
Hey, let me ask you this question. Did you invite the guy yet? Does he know?
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure he knows, Mr. K-Man.
He knew,
well, you know,
he knew long before. He asked, that's the funny thing. He's actually asked 3 times. So I said yes all 3 times, but we finally.
Third time is the charm.
I guess it was. Yeah. It's a trip, man. And
hold on. What the fuck you mean he asked 3 times?
He asked me 3 different times.
I got no words for you. None at all. None.
Well, you met him. Okay, the first of my friends to meet him is MisterDirect, by the way, because they met in New York City. We all got together for drinks.
That the trip you made up there couple of weeks before I went?
Yep. Over Halloween?
Yeah, okay.
So, MisterDirect, you did meet him first. So there you go.
Okay. Oh, by the way, New England is up 13-0. They just one of the power back just scored. Yeah, New England.
That's great.
Like unless the Colts can figure out how to do something with Andrew Luck, it looks like New England's going to be going to the Super Bowl. 14-0 New England in the first. They're in the middle of the first quarter. Yeah, they scored a running touchdown.
Excellent.
Yeah, it doesn't
Double D. Double D.
Yes,
so,
sir.
like, is this a going to be a quickie wedding here in the very near future, or is this down the road, or we haven't set a date?
Oh, no,
we're just thinking about it.
It's down the road. We're trying to figure. Well, that's the thing. It's okay. First of all, I'm not the most girly girl, you know. So this whole sign up to this website, we'll give you tips about planning a wedding. Planning a wedding is bullshit. I understand why people elope, okay? This is some seriously weird, scary, freaky chick shit that I've gotten myself into first and foremost. So just want you to know that. It's I understand why people hire wedding planners and don't want to have anything to do with it because they're all this stuff I never would have thought of. You need this certain guest book and guest gifts and then the venue here. And as soon as you say that the venue is not a party and you say it's a wedding, it's 3 times more. A white dress is a white dress, but as soon as you call it a wedding dress, it's 3 times more, which I'm thinking maybe it's just kind of an excuse to get more money out of people. I'm not really sure.
Well, no shit. So you're doing the regular big-time traditional wedding, the whole...
I'm not really a traditional wedding kind of a gal. I mean, it's going to be a wedding. It's going to be like a wedding. It's not going to be,
interrupt you. We're going to talk more about the marriage. We're going to talk more about the marriage when we get back. We got to take a break real quick. I want to thank you guys for listening in. You are listening to Real Talk. The call-in number is 347-205-9570. Coming up, we're going to talk about the reason why leggings are good or bad for people to have on. And is it that men can't control their thoughts? We're going to come into a little bit of a Bruno Mars, Uptown Funk featuring Bruno Mars. I actually like the song because it's the closest thing you're going to get to a James Brown type of thing. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, sit back, relax, and when you come back, we're going to talk more about Double D getting married. What the fuck is this world coming to? You gotta be shitting me. Impending marriage, and I'm still a little bit baffled. When the fuck did she get engaged? She said the dude after 3 times. I've met him. He seems like a nice guy. He's as fucking crazy as she is, so I guess 2 crazy people together can create a perfect marriage. So that explains a lot already. If you guys want to call in, guest calling line is 347-205-9571. Always looking to bring in somebody else to the crazy of Real Talk. We've got the K-Man, we got Double D, we got Lady Rose, and we've got the confused lesbian herself, Rose. I, of course, is your man, Mr. Direct. That was a little bit of Mark Ronson with Bruno Mars, Uptown Funk. Double D, what the fuck are you talking about that you are going to get married?
I know, everybody, well, not everybody, but a lot of people are like, whoa, wait a minute. How are you dating somebody all of a sudden? I thought you were, like, totally on your own solo mission. Yeah, I was, but, Lady Rose said it best. You find the right person, you find the right person. That's why every time we had a show about dating and everything, I said people don't know what they need. Well, I know what I need. I happen to find somebody who has similar needs. So now it's all good.
I think that's excellent. That's cool, baby.
It's very cool. It is very cool. Somebody being like, oh, God, I haven't shared my space in forever. I don't know what I'm going to do. Most natural thing in the world. Just, yeah, it's not hard to share your space with somebody where you feel when you're into it, when it's not about being in a relationship or, putting on airs. We didn't put on airs from the start with each other. We're just not built like that. So it's like, hey, this is me. Do you like it? Great. I like you too. Fantastic. It's good.
And that's how it works.
Our courtship was pretty quiet, though. We didn't really let anybody else into that. That was very much between me and him, and it wasn't about show, and it wasn't about, calling somebody, especially since, the state's away, having a long distance relationship. Well, it doesn't need to be
anybody but you two.
Exactly.
It's you two. That's it, babe. It works. It works.
I wound up being in something that I never in a million years thought I'd be into, which was a long-distance relationship. So all those things that I said, like, oh, this is bullshit. Well, you know how, that sound you hear when you're making plans, that's God laughing? Like, oh, really? You think that's bullshit? Yeah, I'm going to show you.
Watch this.
This is where I prove you completely wrong.
Yep. That's cool, baby. Wow. That is absolutely cool. Congratulations. I'm very happy for you, honey.
Yeah. We got to transition away from Double D, and now we got to move over to Lady Rose. Lady Rose, what's been going on with you in your life?
Not much, baby. Same old, same old. The holidays were great other than being sick. Gary knows about that. You obviously knew about that. You came down with it a little bit yourself. Other than that, same old, same old.
I'm still partially suffering from it. I'm also suffering from blue balls. That's another conversation. Coming up the back, we've got the confused lesbian herself. She's always with us, always telling us some crazy shit because she's a confused lesbian. Rose, how you doing tonight? Of course, she's not.
She's busy blowing. No, she dropped.
I get my hand.
She's back. Oh, there she is.
My hands were wet.
Your hands are wet. What are you doing?
Are you
doing your hair again?
I'm doing someone's hair.
So that's what's going on. You doing somebody's hair?
Yes.
Boy, does that create an image in my mind?
She ain't gonna say shit. She's just gonna say yes and sit here and be part of the conversation when she decides to speak.
Yes,
that's neither here nor there. We're fine. First up the bat, a Christian mom gives up leggings for God. She said something in here that I found very intriguing. If you want the article, it's on my page, but I'm also going to post it here in chat. So if you're in chat and you see it, it's there. She said that she gave up leggings for God, and the reason why is she said that it was like it made men look at her lustfully. It made men think of her in a very lustful way versus looking at her in a very regular everyday, like, oh, she's a nice person way. Now,
sure, because I always look at you less lustfully when you take your pants off. Yeah.
Well, she said when I walk into a place and there are women wearing yoga pants everywhere, it's hard not to look. I don't, but it's not easy. And that was her husband. I'm sorry, that was her husband saying that. You know what I mean? So he was saying, like, if you don't, as a man, you don't want to look, you don't want to be rude. Now, I'm going to say this. As you all know, I'm still going to broadcasting school. There's a young lady there that likes to wear leggings. No matter what, she always likes to wear leggings. Every day she likes to wear leggings. It's almost ridiculous at this point how much she wears leggings, okay? I'm going to tell you this. The other day, she's wearing leggings. She bends over, and basically we could see her underwear underneath the leggings, okay? Granted, she told us she normally doesn't wear underwear, which I don't know why you would broadcast it to a room full of guys. But today she wasn't wearing regular underwear. She was wearing the French cut lacy ones. So she's bent over. You can still see her ass, and you can see what the Welsh, and you can see her package. You can see her beaver. Now, how could you not know that that's what you look like in those? How could you not know?
What kind of leggings was she wearing?
Well, she must have been wearing the thin leggings because there are a thick legging and there's a thin one where the thin one shows everything. I mean, it shows the whole contour of your body.
Well, it's like tights. I mean, it sounds like she's wearing
exactly.
tights. If you can see her drawers, she's wearing tights. She ain't wearing leggings.
Yeah, that's what they probably were tights.
Listen, I'm telling you what I saw by my very few eyes, okay? And I kept saying to myself, being an adult. I mean, she was like 20 years old. And I'm like, being an adult. And yet and still, even being an adult, and I'm a grown-ass man, I'm a look. Yes, listen, Danielle Double D made a very interesting comment the other, on the link. Danielle, what was your comment? Go ahead and say it.
My problem with things like this and the way that this woman positioned it, that, she's thinking about God and her husband and all those poor other men who can't help, but, want to look and have these lustful thoughts. And I don't know if we've come to a day yet where men are going to get sick and tired of being patronized like that. It's so patronizing, this whole idea that boys will be boys and that somehow it's my and every other woman's responsibility to stop them from their lustful thoughts. To me, is just, those kinds of statements drives me crazy. I mean, she's basically essentially saying, like to a rape victim, like, well, what were you wearing? And saying that not wearing leggings is somehow going to make you, what is that supposed to make you less attractive to people? She's an attractive woman. I saw her picture.
Okay, I think what she was saying on that, simply to be completely honest with you, in my opinion, and I could be wrong, I think what she was saying was, she doesn't want to just walk into a room and have men ogling her and looking at her as a sexual object, okay? Seeing, if you read the Bible, the only person that's really supposed to lust after you is your husband. If you're very hardcore Bible, the only man that's supposed to lust for you is your husband. You shouldn't give other men reason to lust after you. Well, if you're wearing a low-sleeve shirt, well, hold on. Let's be honest. We all take psychology. We all understand the way people think. We all understand the way people do things. If you're in a room full of healthy men and you're wearing a low-cleavage shirt, a low-cut shirt, men are going to stare at your tits, right or wrong.
Right.
Absolutely.
Okay? Gary, you're in a room, a girl's wearing a low-cut shirt. Are you or are you not going to stare?
Well, I don't know. Define stare. I'm not going to ogle them, but I'm sure they're going to notice them. I'm not going to be obvious about it. Yeah.
No, that's what I mean. You're going to look.
Sure.
And why are you going to look?
Because he's only human.
Because I can.
Exactly. Now, you would hope that as a man, that's all he's going to do. However, when you wear things like that, it does bring the unnecessary, well, even though she's got a ring on her finger, why would she wear something like that? Maybe she's looking for attention. Because that's what we project, what we say to people, and we say about women who wear that kind of stuff. Oh, she's looking for attention. She wants a man to do that to her. She wants a man to stare at her. So then when a guy flirts with her or a guy tries to pick up on her, then all of a sudden, what happens? Okay? He's trying to hook up. And then she's like, no, I'm married. And then she's like, what gave him that idea? Just because I'm wearing a low cleavage shirt? Well, yeah, you're bringing attention to yourself. If you're a married woman and you're happy, why do you need, I respect, there's a girl that I'm friends with. I respect her. You know what she says? My body is for my husband and for me to enjoy. I can wear nice clothes, and she's very big-chested, so she can't really hide it, but she does everything in her power to hide it because, one, when she's at work, she doesn't want any man to be thinking sexual thoughts while she's trying to negotiate or she's trying to get work done. Because men think about sex every 10 seconds. So now you're throwing the sex in front of them.
Gary is behind the curve. The K-Man's behind the curve on that one.
And maybe so. But men do think about sex about every 10 seconds.
Yeah, but why is that my problem? Why is that my responsibility to?
Why is it my responsibility?
I mean, why don't we wear burqas then? I mean, shit.
So
that
then,
way you guys don't have any temptation.
So why is it my responsibility to cater to your ego and always give you compliments versus being honest? If I think that it's something you're wearing that's ugly because you're a woman and it's technically more emotional, I'm supposed to always say nice shit. That's just life.
No, I don't respond to that. Like somebody, if they look, my whole thing when I go out, like when I go to work, of course you have a dress code. Everybody, anywhere you work, has a dress code. You know, unless it's a Hooters, you probably have to have the girls covered up. Can't be in hot pants. You know, but leggings. I mean, when I read leggings, most women, if they're wearing leggings, are wearing like a 3/4 length almost mini dress over them because they don't want their ass hanging out. You're actually wearing more clothing when you're wearing leggings than you do when you wear jeans. You wear the shorter T-shirts with the jeans, but with leggings, you know you got to cover your ass.
Exactly. What are leggings just for the tally books? Those aren't those things that like ballerinas wear, right? That you know,
almost on that side. Almost, not leg warmers.
It's like pantyhose, right? Like solid pantyhose.
Yeah, like thick pantyhose, and then women usually wear like the longer shirts, or they wear the longer sweaters over them that are almost down, like about halfway down the side.
Call them leotards or something like that.
Mrs. K-Man doesn't wear them.
No.
Yeah, I mean it's it's one of those things where, quite frankly, when I wear them, I'm running errands. It's because I got to be able to move. I got to be able to run around. So if I'm wearing leggings, it's because I got to move around.
K-Man, your niece, Alyssa wears them sometimes.
Okay.
Just to give you an idea as to what they are.
Listen, by the way, if you guys are not aware, you're listening to the Real Talk Show on Blog Talk Radio. The guest calling line is 347-205-9571. We also have a chat going, so if you want to join us in on the chat, feel free, because that's what we do. We're talking about leggings and about a woman deciding not to wear them because she said she didn't want to give any men any reason to stare at her or to ogle her. And I'm saying this younger generation of young ladies, they wear it knowing that men can see through it.
Well, yeah, because they like getting the guys all riled up. And then they like saying, oh, no, you can't have this.
Exactly. And my thing is, to each their own. Everybody's got to do what they've got to do to get their, do what they got to do in life. You know what I mean? However, I'm a firm believer at the same time that you do need to be conscious of the people that are around you and dress. Like, people sometimes get offended by me because I simply dress sometimes out of place. Like, I'll dress like I went to an event and I had jeans and a nice shirt and a jacket. They're like, why didn't you put on pants? I'm like, because if it's casual, you can wear jeans anywhere. Who gives a damn? As long as they're nice and not dingy and they're clean and you put some shoes on, it's nice. And I'm like, plus, I want to be comfortable. But that's different. I wasn't at a formal affair. When you're going to school and you're around guys, why would you wear leggings that guys could see directly through and they could stare at your ass in your underwear? I mean, you basically might as well just wear your underwear and just let us stare at you in your underwear all day.
Called attention.
Good idea. Let's think about.
Or maybe she's not self-aware too. There are people out there. I don't know about you, Lady Rose, but I've met quite a few women who didn't have a clue what they were wearing before. I don't think everybody's doing it for attention. There's some women who's like, honey, did you realize that really cute black and white chevron pattern dress you have? You can see through the white parts. You wouldn't think so because the material's thick, but guess what? we can see your underwear. It's like, holy shit, I had no idea. I mean, that happens all the time, too.
Yeah,
women's
does.
Women's clothes aren't made to cover us up. This is America. Everything is sexualized. It's made for the low-cut tops and the jegging so that you don't have to wear real jeans.
You can not sexualize yourself. Come on, let's be real. You can find clothes.
But the guys who are going to look no matter what you're wearing. No matter what you're wearing, they're going to look. I mean, that's how the way some people are. Taking on a personal responsibility for how other people might think about you is ridiculous. I mean, this woman doesn't mention anything about getting hit on by any of the people that she's out with. She's just like, well, it just makes me feel bad because I feel like I'm calling attention to myself. Well, leggings are all over. I mean, Target has 3 brands of jeans and 8 different brands of leggings. They're popular right now. Just like do you remember the stirrup pants in the 80s? It's like those, or the bodysuits in the 80s. With the snappy crotch. Do you remember the bodysuits in the early 90s? You know, that was
snappy crotch.
Snappy crotch. They had snaps in the crotch. You wore it like a leotard. It was a bodysuit. Mariah Carey wore them everywhere.
Let me tell you,
yes,
some of my best sexual experiences had snappy crotches involved in them, and if you knew the trick, they didn't get in they didn't get in the way at all. I'm just saying.
But I can say with women's clothing, I mean, it's not. I mean, the joke is it's Han Solo season. You know, they got the black leggings and the white turtleneck, and then they wear the big puffy vest over it. They look like Han Solo. It's Han Solo season right now in the Midwest, and they wear the big boots. And
matter of fact, if you're a woman and you're listening to the show right now, I want to tell you, if you still have an outfit with a snappy crotch, please call us at 347-205-9571. Let us know what type of snappy crotch
I have no idea what a snappy crotch is.
You can take
Gary, it's a one-piece bodysuit. It was a turtleneck.
I'm off in a whole other direction.
I'll have to find one and send it to you through the email.
I've been trying to find one for years.
There's got to be something about this is an early 90s thing. It looked like a perfectly tucked-in shirt that would never come untucked. That's what the whole point was, is so we didn't have to tuck our shirts in and out. So you wore the bodysuit, and then you wore a good pair of jeans and a good belt, and you looked like you were always perfectly tucked in, and you never had a wardrobe malfunction, and nobody saw your ass.
Yep.
That's kind of how it went, because that's when low-rise jeans started to get really huge, too. So that was the whole point in those. But yeah, you know, it's funny, you know, when I hear women like this make this kind of comment, like she's honoring God and her husband, it's like, well, honey, if you have to change your wardrobe to honor your husband, maybe you need to look at yourself before you're looking at your wardrobe. You know, are you wearing that to get attention from other men, and now you're calling yourself out on it? I mean, what is this exactly? I mean,
well, maybe she didn't realize it, because, like you said, some women are not self-aware.
Right.
You know, like Mark Fletcher said, a woman has the right to wear what she wants without unwanted attention or sexual harassment. I do also feel as a man I have the right to look at whatever is in public or open view. So I think, and it's funny because I was talking about this with somebody before, I think a lot of women think I can wear this and I can show my boobs and I can show my ass, but then they're startled when a man stares at them because they're like, why is he staring? Because we like what we see. I'm only going to look if I like what I see. If I don't like what I see, I'm not going to look because it's nasty. Who the fuck wants to look at something that turns them off? I'm just saying.
Well, I think for somebody who's built like me, I'm curvy. You know, even at my skinniest, I've never really been skinny because I've got back. I've always had it. I'm always going to have it. There's junk in the trunk. So wearing a pair of jeans that fit me, they're going to look tight no matter what, unless we go back to, again, the 90s where I can wear some really big-ass jeans, which they don't make anymore. You know, so it's one thing to get unwanted attention when all I did was throw on an old T-shirt and pin my hair up and a pair of jeans and then get hit on, like, in a nasty way from somebody. It's like, okay, yeah, I wasn't dressed up for attention. And 9 times out of 10, women, when we complain about getting unwanted attention, we're getting attention in those scenarios, not when we're dressed up to the nines with our girlfriends. Because if we're dressed to the nines and out with a bunch of girlfriends, nobody says shit to us. They're afraid of us.
Now I can't remember the name of the
comedian. The comedian, this gal, she goes, you know, that's not makeup, honey, that's war paint. You know, like when we are dressed to the nines and we know we're dressed to the nines, we don't get any attention because we're intimidating when we're dressed like that.
No, the fuck you're not. I don't know which men you're hanging around. I've never been intimidated by some chick that is
life experience. I never get hit on in a pack of women. If I'm out with a pack of women and we are all dressed up ladies' night, we do not get hit on, asked for anything.
Okay.
They leave us alone.
Hold on. You know what? Let's go back here, and I'm going to tell you the reason why you don't get hit on, since you want to go there, okay? The reason why your ass don't get hit on is, let's get something straight. You're in a pack of 5 women. One woman is looking at you. She's interested in you. One woman is mad at you because you're not interested in her and talking to her goddamn friend because her friend is hot and she's fucking ugly 9 times out of 10. 2 of the women are fucking pissed off that you even came over and spoke to them because 2 of the women think, why the hell are you even in my area? One of the women thinks that she's better than every other dude that's in the place, and she's mad that her baby daddy or her husband or whoever the hell she's supposed to be fucking at the time ain't giving her no goddamn attention. So when you're a man and you're by yourself and you're trying to approach that group, you got to figure out strategically, who can I talk to that will smooth the way for me to be able to be cool with the entire group for the night? The problem is most men go in and they target one woman. If you are like MisterDirect, you target all of them. You find a joke or you say something polite about all of them, you wrap them in, and then the girl that's going to suck your dick at the end of the night, she's the one that's like, you're so funny. How you doing? Got her. I'm going to get a blowjob for the night. I'm just saying that.
Oh, Lord.
I have never been in a pack of women where that happened, ever.
It works.
Neither have I.
Guys look at us. No, seriously, guys will look at us and they'll look at us and go like, "Oh, hey, okay," and just.
I wasn't
walk.
laughing at you, Double D. I was laughing at the K-Man.
No, I heard it.
It worked.
No, I've never like even times where I've been dressed up to the nines and gone out to meet up with just a big group of friends that wasn't all women, dressed to the nines, like full makeup, everything like that. I don't get shit for attention. But if I walk out of this house like a scrub, some guy's going to ask me for my phone number. I don't know what that is, I've read it's an intimidation factor that if you're not all put together, that men feel you're more approachable.
I don't know what men you were dealing with, and I'm going to give you that. I'm going to tell you, I don't know what men you are dealing with. I have no problem with ever walking up to any woman, okay? I'm just telling you, and I told you
how you doing?
I don't.
How you doing?
I see no reason to not even think about. I see no reason to be intimidated by women. What's so intimidating about a woman? What? Because you got a vagina? Is that what I'm supposed to be intimidated by?
Actually, there's been a lot of studies on this, though, is that, and interesting studies, too, because it's not just intimidation. Like, they showed that men experience more emotional pain from breakups in their 20s than women do. Men are far more sensitive, I think, than we give them credit for sometimes.
Possibly. You might have a point,
I don't know that men are, when you're younger and you have you're new to relationships and then you have a serious relationship and it breaks up, so I would submit that men are upset about it less because the relationship broke up and more of what the hell is wrong with me. But I think they're upset that they lost a relationship, not that relationship, in a lot of cases.
Right, but they showed a huge study was done. Gosh, I think it was Dartmouth College, where they actually showed that men in their 20s who go through a breakup, girls, they go through a breakup, even if it's a bad breakup, they get all together with their girlfriends and they bitch about it and they get it out and they do all this stuff. They don't actually go through as much emotional pain as men.
Because men don't discuss it. That's why.
That's part of it. Yeah, that was.
They hold it in and they don't discuss it with anybody because it's sort of like, oh shit, you lost a girlfriend. What the fuck's wrong with you?
Right, and
but not only that, you're not going to show weakness to your buds.
Right,
and men have a tendency to act out more negatively after being emotionally hurt than women do, which I thought was really interesting.
It's actually because men are taught the best way to forget about one woman is to get underneath another.
Mhm.
So men are quicker to go out and get men are quicker to go out and get in another relationship than women are. However, there's little things about that. Listen, we got to go to a break. We're going to be back. I'm going to play a song to you. Hey, I'm going to start playing some updated songs. I've been listening to the radio a little bit because of school. So I'm going to play some updated songs to you. When we come back, we're going to talk about Obama and free college for 2 years and why people are in an uproar over it. Well, the conservatives are. Liberals are saying it's a good thing. Between the two of them, who's going to pay for what? And we're going to talk about that when we get back. It's your man, Mr. Direct on Real Talk. The call-in number is 347-205-9571. What we do best is talk shit, but we give you a little bit of entertainment. Congratulations, Double D. You're getting married. I didn't get my invite. Fuck you. The K-Man, Lady Rose and Rose, we shall be back. A little Taylor Swift, Blank Space. We'll be back. It's your man, Mr. Direct. I'm back. I'm doing what I do best. The guest calling line is 347-205-9571. A little Taylor Swift, Blank Space. You know, I was thinking about something the other day, and I'm going to tell you guys this. I'm pretty sure you'll understand what I'm about to say. Taylor Swift has made a hit, has made a career out of talking about her breakups. Shake It Off, Blank Space, I Knew You Were Trouble, You Belong to Me, We're Not Ever Getting Back Together, Love Story, Everything Has Changed, Safe and Sound, Our Song, Out of the Woods, Teardrops on My Guitar, Bad Blood, every time somebody treats, is she a hoe? Is she a hoe that just got lucky and learned how to write some damn songs? Every song is about, like, a guy breaking up with her and treating her like shit. Is this how she's making her money? If that's the case, I need to talk about all the married women that broke up with my ass and ain't giving me no damn pussy anymore, and I'm upset about it. Should I go cry in my pillow and write some songs? Shit, I'll be a billionaire next week. This is bullshit. I'm just saying, I needed to get that off my chest. We're back. Doing what I do.
Somebody get Dartmouth College on the phone and tell them that their study was right on the mark.
I know, right?
What study was that, might I ask?
The Dartmouth College study that Double D was talking about, how men are more sensitive about breakups than women are. I think you just proved the point.
No, I'm saying this bitch is making money from talking about her breakups. How she, listen to all her songs. Shake It Off.
Yeah. It's her whole career. Her whole career has been breakup music.
Her whole career is based off of breakup songs. She's making billions of dollars from writing about people breaking up with her. Nothing that she writes is like, oh, I just want to write an upbeat song for the club. She writes about being broken up with. How many guys, how old is Taylor Swift right now? Does anybody know her age?
It could be.
Does anybody know?
I think
her age? She's what, late 20s, early 30s?
She is 25 years old. 26. She was born December 13th, 1989. She is 25 years old. Every song is about breaking up. How many times has somebody broke up with your ass? What kind of retard are you? Okay? I get it. You're 25. You're skinny. You need to eat a goddamn cracker. But at the same time, you're kind of cute. A little bit. You got a little cuteness to you. But if a guy's constantly breaking up with you, writing a song is not normally what you would do. Figure out why guys keep breaking up with you. There's something going on with your crazy ass.
Well, at this point, she's got to have bad relationships at this point, because if she doesn't, she'll lose her career.
Exactly. She's got to write about something.
I mean, shit. It's like comedians.
Write about her
nobody
vagina.
It's always, all country music is breaking up music. Finding your lover, losing it, a truck.
She did make a really good transition from country to pop, though, because she kind of had that pop country thing going on. And then
I shot my dog at the train station.
Right. I mean, she's made that full transition over to pop, so, that's kind of cool. But at the same time, she can't have a good relationship. If she does, she won't have a career anymore. She better make that money now.
Ladies, and I don't care if I offend any lady on this phone call. If there's something wrong with you that your man or your boyfriend or your husband, whoever it is, keeps breaking up with you, there's something wrong with your vagina. I'm sorry.
No, if you're losing that many relationships in your 20s,
well, did you ever think maybe it's her career and she's got no time for a lover?
I can't imagine she would.
First of all,
who the hell doesn't have time for a lover? You get in bed every night, don't you? What do you mean you don't have time for a lover?
Excuse me, Mr. K-Man, don't...
Tell it, K-Man. Tell her.
K-Man doesn't even know what that's all about, and I won't even go there, so shut up, K-Man.
Wait a minute. No, the concept of I have a career, I don't have time for a lover. What the hell are you talking about? You don't have time for a lover?
Do you think she goes to bed with every man she meets, and she goes home and goes to bed with him? That's all that's on your mind.
No, that's not what I said at all. I said the concept of people saying, I have a career going, I'm busy, I'm trying to I don't have time for a lover. That's like saying, I'm sorry, I don't have time to eat. I don't have time to take a shower.
That's not what I said. Her career is important right now. So she's going to spend more time on her career than she's going to spend with her lover. Because that's important to her right now.
That's unless she finds somebody that is actually in the same field as her and understands her time. So if they've got the same type of money she's got, they learn to make time for each other, so therefore the careers can actually work. My point about it is, I just noticed when I heard this song, because we're given assignments for our final radio, like what type of radio we have to do. I have to do contemporary hits, right? So because I have to do contemporary hits, I had to make up a whole sweeper, little plugins and pieces like that, and I have to take 10 songs. This is one of the biggest songs right now. So I said, okay, I can play this song, and I listened to it, and I go, this sounds like her other songs. It's all about being broken up with. That's what her song sounds like. All her songs are about her being broken up with. I don't get it. That's what I'm a little bit amazed about.
I'm not, because most country music is about that, breaking up, or you lost your dog, or who died. That's what country music's all about. If you listen to all the music, it's about breaking up, making up, losing somebody.
Or stand-up comedy. Stand-up comedy is only funny when you're miserable. If you're miserable in a relationship, that's hilarious. If you're happy, that's not funny. There's nothing funny about that shit.
However, it is good to be happy, Double D.
It is good to be happy, but consider, consider the profession. Being happy in a relationship doesn't make you money as a stand-up comedian.
Exactly.
Talking about a happy relationship is not going to get you money, just doesn't sell, just like in music. Talking about, the lady is a tramp and all this other stuff, that's going to get you paid.
Very true.
Listen, I'm still saying I don't get it. Life can't be that depressing at 35. At 25.
Well, maybe it is for her. You don't know.
Oh, are you kidding me? It cannot possibly be that depressing. She's 25. She is hot, and she's a billionaire. Life is good. Life is really good.
Well, maybe you would feel that way, but maybe she doesn't feel that way. We don't know how she feels.
That could be.
I hear you, but at the same time, I'm standing by what I'm saying. I'm not writing that in. I'm not. I can't. I'm not going to. That said, coming back up, we're going to talk about Obama. Obama is offering what his proposed plan is 2 years. 2 years. 2 years of school for free if you work for it.
Okay.
What do you guys
think it's great. What's wrong with it? I think it's great.
What?
What's the problem?
That's what I'm saying. What is the problem? It seems that people are up in arms and saying, who's going to pay for it? And what's going on with
you got to wonder. You got to wonder about that. How are you going to pay for it?
Actually, they currently shifted some of the grants and everything else they have just for regular, everyday people to go to college at any time in their life, and shifted some of those down to fund the younger people for those first 2 years. I think they could make it work.
I think so too.
I have no problem with the concept. I have no problem with the concept at all. I think it's a great idea.
But okay, so you're a little bit you're a little conservative, Gary. Why would they be up in arms about this? Why is what I'm asking.
I think it's the funding that people are worried about. You know, the law requires that any new initiative that is advanced by either Congress or the president, either one, has to be paid for. It has to be zero-based budgeted. In other words, the budget does not allow new spending. Any new expenditures that you create has to be paid for by another place in the budget. You have to take funding away from something else. You have to create funding to pay for it. Okay, so the law requires that. So the question is okay, you're going to pay for a couple of years of school for everybody to go to college that works or, you know, meets whatever the criteria ends up to be. Okay, where's the money coming from? Who are you going to take it away from? I think that's what people are looking at.
That's true. I think you're right on that one.
He's got to take it away from somewhere. If he's going to pay for it, he has to take it from some other program. So where
and he has not set where he's going to be taking it from either.
No.
Here's something I want to share with you guys. And I was reading this the other day. One of the fucking Russian came on the show the other day. Well, she instant messaged me and we were talking about it, right? 16 great jobs that don't require a 4-year degree. And the reason why I'm sharing this with you is I want you guys to understand where I think he's going, and I'm just going to let you guys, you know, bounce on that from there, okay? Hold on for 1 second. Did it give it to me or did it not? It says the 16 list, but it didn't. Where is it at? Okay, a web developer, you know, like you can make $62,500 a year for being a web developer, and you only need a 2-year degree. And these are the best jobs without a degree for 2014. So that one, you know, like that your median salary would be without college, meaning a bachelor's, your median salary would probably be like 35, but you could stand to make up to, you know, 75 plus. My point is, and I do apologize, I should have had the list a little bit quicker. I believe what Obama's, here it is, I found it. Dental hygienist. A dental hygienist makes a median salary of $70,210. You only need 2 years school for that. The next one up, a registered nurse. Depending on what state you're on, a registered nurse will make $65,470, and you don't need to have a 4-year degree. A web developer, as I said, you'll make $62,000 a year. Respiratory therapist, $55,000 a year. As you can see, an electrician, you'll make $50,000 a year. That's median level if you're doing that. Computer service technician, which is what I used to do, $48,900. I had a 2-year degree. So that's what I would, you know, that's the median level. You could go as low as 35. I had a job that was paying me 58 plus bonuses, so I would have made like 63 for the year. Paralegal assistant, $46,000 a year. Appliance repairer, $43,000 a year. Carpenter, $39,000. Automobile body repair, $37,000. You can see where the jobs are. These are a welder, $36,000. These are all jobs that are hands-on. And I think what the president is doing, and this is my opinion, and I want you guys to kind of chime in on what you think. I think what the president is doing is trying to, in a way, steer people towards the fact that we've kind of steered kids away from blue-collar jobs. Don't work blue-collar. Get yourself a white-collar job, be in a nice, cushy office, be in air-conditioned, and wait for the check, wait for the 401k, and hope and pray your CEO or the board doesn't decide that they didn't make enough profit, so fuck you and everything that you stand for. We're just going to make sure that you have nothing at the end of the day. These are jobs that are well in need. I think what the president is doing is pushing people towards that direction and saying, I can't say it outright, because when he said it outright, Santorum called him an elitist, McCain called him an elitist when he said it. When he said we need to stop pushing kids to just a 4-year option for school, they all called him an elitist and said that, see that? He thinks he's better. He thinks he's better by saying that you don't deserve a 4-year degree. And what he was saying was, we need to be honest. We don't have enough people to repair the roads. We don't have enough people to repair bridges. We don't have enough people to be electricians. This is why the electricians are able to charge us electricians have us by a stranglehold. Why? Because they know there's only so many people that can do their jobs, because what? The average kid doesn't grow up today and say, I'm going to be an electrician. The average kid falls into it because...
Yeah, he says, I'm going to be an electrical engineer. I'm not going to be an electrician, I'm going to be an electrical engineer.
Exactly. And a kid that could be an electrician is in jail. The kid that could probably do very well at being an electrician is in jail, or he's high on crack and is doing nothing with his life, but he's probably very good with being an everyday electrician. I believe
let me say this. Let me say this. You know, I think you have a good point. Back in my day, back in my day when I was coming up, getting a high school diploma was the thing, and then if you went to college, that was a bonus. Now, high school diploma ain't shit. You got to have college. But back in my day, you made a choice. Not everybody was geared for college. Not everybody was geared for a business career. Not everybody was geared for white collar. And they had different high schools. They had the academic high schools, but you could also go to vocational tech. What we used to remember, we used to call you going to Votech, or you going,
yes.
Yes.
You would go to high school and you would learn a trade, because not everybody is meant to be a businessman. Not everybody's meant to be an entrepreneur or a corporate type. Some people are wired to be blue collar and go into the trades, whether it be auto or electrical, mechanical, hydraulic.
I went in for cosmetology.
Right. So basically, maybe we're just getting back to that and saying, look, you're pushing all of these kids that they got to get they got to have the high B's or more in college, in high school, and then they got to go get into a good school and get a 4-year degree and get a business career. And the kids looking at it and say, I don't even want that. So they just drop out. I don't want to do that. I have no interest in that. I have no talent in that. It's not the way I'm cut.
Or you've got, on the other side, though, you've got the kids who are really good students, so they want to go for a 4-year degree, but they get something in like a liberal arts that will yield them nothing but debt.
Right.
Our society is not, it's no longer the 90s where you can go in and get a college degree and major in Game Boy, and come out making $55K a year in the computer industry or any kind of computer tech. You can't do that anymore here. A lot of our computer jobs or any kind of tech support have been shipped overseas. So, one thing that everybody's forgotten in this Votech, we have had almost the entire, in less than a generation, almost everybody is retired from the railroad. We don't have anybody working the railroad. You know how much those careers yield? That's a lot of money.
Not to change the subject, an article came out a few months ago and it said one of the reasons why people don't like President Obama is because President Obama's probably outsmarting the Republicans and they don't even realize it. So when they're objecting to stuff, the Republicans and a lot of people are looking at everything today. What is it going to do for me today? What is it going to do for me tomorrow? What is it going to do for me next week? A lot of the things that Obama has pushed off on us and the stuff that he does that people object to, the plans don't involve today. They don't involve tomorrow. They involve 5 years, 10 years down the line when we really need these things. This is what's going to happen. And I say that to say one thing. By pushing the agenda to give away school for free for 2 years, you're going to have a lot more people who are going to be willing to go to school and work. Because I think part of the criteria is you're going to have a legit job and be working. So you're probably going to have to show that you're working in a dental office. You're working with the construction company that repairs roads and stuff like that. You're going to have to show that you actually do that. So now,
you're also going to have to pass. I mean, when he said you have to work for it, you have to pass. You can't just fuck around and then not pass classes and
you got to maintain
paid for. You got to fucking be there and do it.
I agree, but my point about that is at first it's not going to seem much because it's going to be a big deal, a couple of people. But what happens when you offer this and then all of a sudden you have the kid that thought he had nothing, he figured out he's good at electricity, he goes to school and learns the basics of it, and now not only does that, but he figures out he is good at school because he figured out that he does love the electrical part of it. So he learns the hands-on to do the job, but then he says, but I want to go to school to finish this off for business, right? So now he goes and finishes off and gets his degree in business. Now he's running a company, and now he's giving back because now he's bringing in the kids who are going to school for the 2 years and are getting their and saying, hey, you're going to school for electricity? Come work with me. I did it. I'm going to show you how to do it. Now he is employing more people. What the plan is about, and I think this is where people are losing the sight of it, and I think we're all in agreement it's a good sign. I'm talking about the people that object to it. The plan is about making sure in 5 to 10 years we have the people that don't mind doing the handwork to get it. Because let's face it, how many people today do you meet that don't mind doing hand labor?
Not very
average
many.
Person, no. Average person. But Gary, granted you're older than me, but I remember even when I was younger in school, there were kids that were looking forward to it. Like, yeah, I'm going to do construction for the rest of my life. Oh,
because that's the way they were wired.
Exactly. But now, even the kids that normally should say, I'm going to run construction, they're like, I'm going to go to school and figure out how to get this corporate job because I'm not going to do construction. And it's like, you're probably never. I mean, when you think about management and the competition, Gary, you worked in corporate. The competition to be manager, only so many people are going to be manager. And 9 times out of 10, the guy that works hard and is the smartest is never the manager. It usually works out that way.
The guy who works hard and is the smartest doesn't want to be the manager. Quite frankly, I've seen a lot of really brilliant people pass up those positions because they're like, nah, man, I'm here. Here a lot of call center workers are union. They get a guaranteed raise every 6 months. They have zero responsibility. They punch that clock. They're out. That's what they want. That I'll make enough money. Some of them out-earn me as a manager in a call center. They out-earn me because I don't get a raise every 6 months. I get a yearly review like everybody else. So, I got plenty of people.
Or they move you into management. They move you up the hourly, move you into salary, give you a minimal bump, and then you're working twice as many hours for you end up making less an hour than you were with a ton more responsibilities.
Right. I mean, there's a lot of financially brilliant people who are brilliant at their jobs who are like, nah, man, I'd be a manager, but I can't really afford the cut in pay.
Yeah.
It's more responsibility.
I'm not into working 20 more hours a week for a 50-cent raise an hour.
For 10%. Yeah, for 10% more than what I'm making now. I mean, it's depending on the person. Yeah, I've seen some really, really brilliant people go, nah, man, I got the earliest shift. I'm out at 3:30. I can punch this clock. I can pay my bills. I'm good. Y'all you go put out those fires. I don't want to deal with it. Yeah,
you go make the payroll. You go to the meetings. You go worry about the budgets. You go worry about benefits. You go worry about hiring, firing. You go worry about all that stuff.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go home and bounce the baby on my knee.
Yeah, I can sit here, do my job, and I'm fine. I'm good.
It's kind of funny, too,
getting back to Obama's plan, Mr. Direct,
go ahead.
I have no problem with it. I think it's actually a good idea. It's going to create opportunities for people that, come on, not everybody's going to Harvard. Come on, man, not everybody's going to NYU. You go and get your 2-year college degree.
But when he said that, Gary, and that's my point, they called him an elitist when he said it. He was just like, not everybody's going to go to Harvard. The minute he said that, they jumped all over him, said, see, he's an elitist. He thinks he's better
because he went to Harvard.
Right. And it's like,
well, come on, this guy could stand up and say Christ is coming out of the clouds, and somebody would have a problem with it. So, it's not a matter of,
no.
You're always going to find somebody.
Muslim. He's a gay Muslim. Come on, you know that.
Well, yeah, but that's not what we're talking about. I'm just saying that with all of the deficits going on and more deficits coming and the economy the way it is and everything else like that, anything that creates more opportunity and creates job opportunities and everything else like that is fine. Okay, you got a good idea. Tell me how you're going to pay for it. Where's the money coming from? Is the money coming from welfare programs or money being taken out of that, and now you're just creating additional problems? Is the money coming from new taxes? Where's the money coming from?
Well,
okay?
according to his plan, you know what? We're going to discuss that. We got to go to a break. This is a 3-song break, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys want to call in, the guest call line is 347-205-9571. That's 347-205-9571. This is a 3-song break. We're going to play 3 straight songs. Sit back, relax. They're all updated songs. It's what I do. I'm your man, MisterDirect, Double D, Lady Rose, the Confused Lesbian, the K-Man, and we're doing what we do best, giving you a little bit of real talk. Coming up is Nick Jonas, Jealous. I don't even like Nick Jonas, but damn it, I've been hearing so much Z100. This song kind of grew on me. Damn it. That's what I was referring to, young lady.
I liked it.
Well then.
That's Lady Rose. When you were up here, do you remember Z100?
Yes.
That's the radio station that I have to do. I have to act like I'm a radio jock on them. So that's the drop I created for them. So, but we make up our own radio station. We make up everything about it, and then I actually have to act like I'm the actual, I'm the jockey on it. So that was all my voice. Everything you heard was my voice, and then I took pieces from other stuff and put it together.
Nice.
That was cool. Nice. I liked it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's nice to feel appreciated, even though the K-Man didn't like it. Fuck him.
He wasn't paying attention to it. I bet you he was watching the game.
Well, no, actually, I had to defer because I was not listening at all. I went and cleaned up my dinner dishes and said hi to the wife and petted the dog and went and got something to drink, and I didn't hear any of it.
Yeah, I figured that. That's why he had no say-so on it.
I'll forgive you this time, Gary.
I had to let my dogs, nature was calling my dogs. I had to let them out. So, yes, I didn't hear it the first time around either. So I'm glad I did hear it the second time around because, yeah, it's really good. I like it a lot.
Thank you. And you guys are actually going to end up hearing that very soon. We're going to create some for the Real Talk show. They're called sweepers.
Oh, cool.
So you just bring it through and you just play it. Just so
somewhere in a listening room in the FBI and the CIA, somebody's saying, "Wait a minute, there's some guy talking about sleeper cells."
That's your tax dollars at work, folks.
I'm just saying. So, hey, I like to, I'm practicing. So I'm practicing on the show. So I do a lot of my practicing of stuff on the show because I want to make sure, I do it the right way and it sounds good. And, I want to impress my fellow, hosts and be like, oh, so he's actually growing. He's learning to be more of a radio personality for what he wants to do.
No, that's cool.
I could see I'm not impressing you guys, so fuck you all.
What do you mean you're not impressing us? We liked it. What the fuck's up with you?
You're just hitting us up after this break.
Hey, that was a 3-song sweeper, by the way. That was a 3-song sweeper where we go through.
See, it went by so fast, we didn't even realize it was a 3-song.
And what we do is we are still here. Guest call in line 347 205-9571. Yeah, thank you for saying it. Somebody just hit me up on something. Hold on 1 second. Give me 2 seconds. Go ahead. We were talking about Obama and how he was going to pay for this plan, et cetera, et cetera. So,
I'm sure he'll speak about it in the State of the Union coming up this week. I think it's this
Oh, yeah,
week.
I'm sure he will.
And, maybe he'll expand on it more. And you just can't stand up and say, I think we should put a program in that pays for everybody to go to college for 2 years and leave it at that without people saying, well, wait a minute, what the hell are you talking about? So, I think it's a great idea. We should be directing people, first of all, to further their education. But if they're not wired to be in academia, then get yourself some tech background and get yourself in the working world and make a good living for yourself. Go with what you know. Go with where your talents are.
Hey, I'd like to go back to school.
I'd like to finish school.
I agree with you.
And the honest to God truth is I'm thinking about going to a Votech.
And I agree with you. I was thinking about that. I was thinking about, I know you guys might laugh at me, but part of me was thinking about going back to school and becoming an auto mechanic.
What's wrong with that?
Cars. You always have cars. You're always going to want to have, somebody's always going to have to work on them. And I figured even when I get to a retirement age, I could slow down, but I could still oil changes, rotating tires. I'll still have money coming in, and it won't. And I could do it on the weekends if I wanted to. You know what I mean?
Yep, you could do it in your spare time.
Yeah, like I could say, you know what? I don't want to do it for real. I don't want to make a career, but because I want to slow down, I enjoy it. I know I'll make money. I can grow with the industry and learn. Those guys some places they make 120 something an hour in labor. Like, let's be real. I mean, you got to do what you got to do. But according to this plan, under the plan, the capital gains tax for couples with income over $500,000 per year would be raised from its current level of 23.8% up to 28%. The plan would also strip a tax break known as a step-up that allow heirs to avoid capital gains tax on their large inheritances. In addition, the plan would institute a new tax on the biggest financial institutions, basing the fee on the liabilities in order to discourage risk by borrowing. The administration says the fee would hit roughly 100 banks that have assets of $50 billion or more. The president's plan would use revenues from those tax code changes to finance credits aimed at the middle class, officials said. That includes extending the earned income tax credits to families without children, which would benefit an estimated 13 million low-income workers, while also tripling the maximum tax credits for child care in low- and middle-income homes. The proposal is probably the most impactful way we can address the manifest unfairness in our tax system, an official said. As well, it's trying to get people to invest more into their 401ks again, because a lot of people have decided not to invest in their 401ks anymore because they keep, why would I do it when a company's just going to take the money from me at the end of the day?
Yeah, well,
you know what I mean?
They look at the bath they took on their 401ks during the crash.
Exactly.
And they sit there and say, I'm not willing to take that kind of risk again. I can find other ways to build my nest egg, without risking it. You look at what the returns are.
If you
look at what the returns are today.
Gary.
Go ahead.
Gary, I'm sorry. I'm just giving an update. If you're watching the game, the Patriots just scored another touchdown. They are up 23-7 against the Colts. The Colts are basically never going to make it to the Super Bowl this year because the Patriots are basically going to go up with 10 minutes and 3 seconds to go in the third quarter, 10 minutes, 3 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. They're going to go up 24-7. I mean, this is a shellacking, and it's not that bad. But I mean, Tom Brady is the closest thing we have to Joe Montana right now. I would say he's the closest thing we have to Joe Montana, and he's already the all-time winningest quarterback for all playoffs, winning 20 games. He's first in yards, first in touchdowns in the playoffs. I mean. And the Patriots are just playing. I mean, this will be Tom Brady's sixth. I think this is going to be Tom Brady's sixth Super Bowl that he's going to go to.
Okay.
So
I don't have a dog in the fight. So.
Me neither.
Are you kidding? The Packers lost. I'm happy. The Packers lost. I'm good.
somewhere right now, my sister is falling on her sword after the Packers lost.
And my son, because my son is a Packer fan.
Yeah, they had that game wrapped up with. I mean, there was 5 minutes left, and I would have bet all the money I have or will ever have again at the 5-minute mark that the Packers were going to win that game.
Yeah, me too.
So,
listen, I commented on a friend's page today, and I said it's going to be the Seahawks versus New England. Seahawks are going to win. That's what I said. 5 minutes ago.
You really think the Seahawks are going to win if New England gets in?
Well, they won last year.
Well, first they won last year. 2, the Seahawks are very unconventional. If you really want to get into it, the Seahawks, these teams are actually pretty evenly matched up because they actually both take chances where a lot of teams wouldn't take chances. The difference is really going to be when you step into it is the defense of New England going to be able to stop the offense of the Seahawks. Because the offense of the Seahawks, if they get on a roll, they're unstoppable. If you got to worry about Marshawn
the defense of the Packers stopped the Seahawks for 45 minutes.
Exactly.
I mean,
and you see what happened.
Yeah, I mean, they had them beat to death for 3 quarters, and then, with 5 minutes left, all of a sudden the Seahawks started to show up.
Exactly.
And it was just as much Green Bay special teams and defense letting down as it was the Seahawks waking up. Drop balls, penalties at inappropriate times, that onside kick that I could have gotten that ball, not making a play in the end zone on that touchdown. The defender standing right there. The ball was in the air for seemed like forever, and he didn't make a play on the ball. He tried to make a play on the receiver instead. He should have just knocked the ball down.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a combination of Green Bay letdown and all of a sudden Seattle coming to life.
Coming back, yeah.
Green Bay lost the game.
I will say that I agree with you tenfold.
But if Seattle plays like that against New England in the Super Bowl, this thing's over right now. So,
who do you got if Seattle goes? Who do you got? I mean, if they make it, if right now it looks like New England's going to make it, who do you have? I've got Seattle.
Oh, I think New England wins that game.
You really think New England? And I would love to see New England win a fourth ring. I would really like. I think Tom Brady, for all his years, deserves it. I really think he deserves it. I think he's done a great job. You know what I mean? But everybody hates Brady. I don't know why. I mean, he's a great quarterback, and whatever. You know what?
I don't.
We had a conversation about this the other day, and you know what it is? Tom Brady is the quarterback that everyone puts out there for Hollywood. When Hollywood created the perfect quarterback, it was Tom Brady. Before Tom Brady ever existed. Tall, pretty good looking, athletic, pretty boy type. You see what I'm saying? Here comes Tom Brady. He wins. He wins consistently. He hasn't had a losing season since he's been with New England. Every season that he starts, they win. He makes the playoffs every year. They win the NFC East. I think that they've won the NFC East every year that he started. So he's winning. He's winning Super Bowls. He's young. He's good looking. He's kind of metro. The NFL made him the poster boy. At one point, they made him the poster boy where it was like, he's hands off. You can't touch him, right? It's sort of like people started to hate him just because he won. You know what I mean?
I don't disagree with you.
I think you're missing the most important point here, though, and that is the Packers lost.
you and your hatred for the Packers.
Yeah.
Is that like a Viking fan thing, or like Viking fans just hate the Packers?
I get to go to work. tomorrow, and the Packer fans that are there, the Packer backers, I'm going to put it in their face. That's what I'm going to do. That's the most important thing about this whole conversation is that the Packers aren't going to the Super Bowl. Yay.
That's funny.
Interesting.
I think Rodgers is probably in the back of his mind saying, "Oh, good, I can go home now and heal."
Yeah,
the guy
exactly.
The guy,
no doubt.
I mean, he spent the fourth quarter in a wheelchair, for crying out loud. The guy,
he was limping.
Up.
But he put up a fight for a guy that was limping. He put up a fight.
Yeah, he did.
He did. I like him. I like. I think he's a terrific athlete. He's a winner as far as I'm concerned.
I like him because the year I had him on my fantasy football team, I won. So, yeah, I like him. The rest of them, no, not so much.
Question is going to be, is he going to retire now?
Good question.
Manning?
Yeah, he'll retire for a couple of years, and then he'll come play for the Vikings, and then I'll like him again. That's the way.
Yeah.
That's the way it works. Haven't you seen?
No, if Manning leaves, I will tell you this: if Manning leaves, he does not want to tarnish his name. He's gone. He's not going to pull a Brett Favre. If he retires, he's going to stay gone. He
won't come back.
Brett Favre. Brett Favre was basically, I've got nothing else to lose. Who cares if I come out of retirement? Who cares if I fake it? Whatever. He didn't, for him, his thing was, I had nothing to lose at all. But when you're talking about Peyton Manning is a first ballot Hall of Famer, guaranteed.
Easy.
If he retires, he is not. I'm telling you, he will not come out of retirement. When he calls it a day, he's going to say, that's it. It's a wrap.
Yep.
He will never.
That's all, folks.
Exactly. And that's what I respect about him. I also respect the thing that I like about Manning wasn't scared to make fun of himself as being the dumb hick quarterback, as smart as he is.
Right.
He didn't, when people made fun of him because of his accent, because, you're the dumb hick, he didn't care. He played along. He's like, I'm the dumb hick. You know what? You're right. I'm the dumb hick. Don't worry about it. You got to respect the guy who has that mentality about himself. It means that he understands, one, who his character is, and two, he kind of understood where he was going with that. And it's great. You got to appreciate guys that just embrace who they are and sell the hell out of it. And he did it. So my hat's off to
what's
Manning.
your bet?
I don't like Eli.
Do you think he's going to retire, or what do you think? I think he is.
I think he's got another year in him.
Well, I think he's going to want to go through a whole new Denver rebuild, new coaches, new offense, new everything for one more year. What's he going to get?
I think so.
I think he's got another year. I think he's honestly got one more year, and I think at the end of that year, I think he is. And thank you to the girl who had a big picture of her boobs, and I said, damn, I wonder what they look like. She actually sent me a picture. I won't say her name. She sent me a picture of her tits. Thank you. Lord Jesus, she got some big ass nipples. Woo!
Oh, that's real talk for you.
What did Ric Flair say? Woo! Woo! Them is
going to get some cold cuts today. Woo! Get some cold cuts.
We're going to get some cold cuts.
Get some cold cuts. Getting cold cuts. Ladies! I'm number 43. Getting cold cuts. Getting cold cuts.
You know what's messed up? He looks nothing like he did in his playing days.
Who does?
Nothing like Icky Woods.
Icky Woods. The Icky Shuffle.
He looks nothing like. He's like, go to get some cold cuts. Like, yeah. I'm like, oh, shit. Dude, really? That's probably the first time somebody's contacted him in years to do a commercial. He was like, I'm going to sell the fuck out of these goddamn commercials. Oh, you want me to ride out? You want me to ride out hard? Yeah, going to get some cold cuts today. Woo!
That's a funny commercial.
He was so. Listen, you don't see nobody coming in from the NFL. I think he's probably pulling a pension, but even if you can't pull a pension till you're like 60-something. So he probably wasn't invested well. He's probably, because if you look at him, he don't look like he dresses that well. I mean, maybe that was the character.
How dressed up do you got to get to go to the... I mean, how dressed up are you going to get to go to the deli?
Still, I would have supposed he would have looked a little bit better than that. Come on. Just a little bit. But it was still a great commercial. No matter which way you look at it, it's still a great commercial. I'm surprised they haven't given us him celebrating something else besides that, because they're like, oh, he'll celebrate anything. I'm like, they should have given us they should have done another one outside of that. That would have been hilarious. You know what I mean?
I think it's funny. I think it's funny that he's dressed down because he's standing there with the other like ladies who are just shopping in the middle of the day. You know, I think it just kind of goes along with you're in the grocery store in the middle of the day in your sweats and stuff, and now he's jumping up and down like he's in his uniform doing a dance. You know, I get the joke, man. I love that commercial.
Oh, every time it comes on, I just sit there and laugh. Oh, here it is. Hold on, I'm playing it now. You got it. 15 minutes can save you 15 minutes. Hold on. That's that. Hold on.
We're here.
Number 44. Woo! 44, that's me. Go, cut. Get some cold.
I love it.
Get some cold. Cut. Woo! Get some.
That I got the biggest kick out of the discount double check.
That's me. Woo! Go to cold cut
that
today.
one killed me. Discount double check killed me too, because that was funny as hell.
MisterDirect.
Oh, yes.
Are we ever going to do the hangout again?
Eventually, right now the problem is too many people come in on a hangout and it kills us.
Ah,
yeah.
Okay.
It just can't support what we need it to.
It's you know, it'd be great if I had like in a professional studio, like what Oprah had, and I could just tell everyone to Skype in. That'd be great. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we're supposed to be able to use Skype with this. I haven't used it, but we're supposed to be able to use Skype with it. Hey Gary, I got a question. Is your daughter around?
Around where? I don't know.
Home. Do you know?
She probably is.
Sunday night, I don't know. I have no idea where she is.
How do you not know where your daughter is?
She's 48 years old. She doesn't check in with me.
If she's got the kids, she's probably home. If she doesn't have the kids, she may not be home because she's probably got no work tomorrow because of Martin Luther.
Right.
Oh, so she's out partying.
It's a possibility.
She's got a new boyfriend, so she might be out.
She does?
She doesn't have the kids.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh. All right.
Well, I mean, thanks for telling us, Gary.
Well, breaking news, April dates.
Well, I know she dates, but I didn't know she had another boyfriend.
We knew that.
We're calling her, apparently.
Hello?
Hey,
baby.
Chica. What's going on?
Hi. How are you guys doing?
How are you?
I didn't realize that everybody was on Sunday night.
I needed to get some double A banter for the day, so I decided to give you a call.
Yeah, we decided.
Hey, you want to hear some good? Hey, wait. You want to hear some good news?
Yeah.
Go for it, Double D.
The Packers lost.
Oh, yeah, that's a given. I already knew that.
Yeah, I don't think that's what he was looking for.
If you were from Minnesota, you would understand how important that is, but you're not from Minnesota. So,
no, I'm not.
But you would understand because you were one of us.
Yes, and in other breaking news, now that the headlines are over, there's something else, isn't there?
Double D. Come on.
Oh, come on, guys.
Come on, Double D.
I'm getting married.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So it's enough
we had to call the whole. We had to call the whole Real Talk family to tell them.
The level of your excitement is overwhelming. That is just the rest of us went nuts.
Well, I think I already knew that. She already told me.
Yeah, I see. So she knew before we did. Oh, we see how this is, Double D.
Hold the fucking up.
I knew MisterDirect was going to jump in on this.
Hold on.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Time out. You mean to tell me, and you called her ass and told her, no, motherfucker, hold on for a second. You called her and told her that you was going to get married first, but you didn't take the time to tell our black asses that you was going to get married.
No, this is not what happened. Double A has a very big sister protective thing with me, so when she sees that I'm dating, she always has to check in and make sure I'm okay. So it just so happened that she just happened to check in at the time that all this happened.
That's 100% true. It's 100% true.
Okay, somebody's phone is doubling up.
Yeah.
Cool.
Who's got the phone on in the background?
Not me.
It's not me.
No, we did call Double A out of nowhere, so she could be in a place where she's got some reverb. She would have no idea.
Well,
all right, well, I'll tell you what, I'll hang up and...
No, don't hang up.
Double A?
We love
what,
you.
Mark? Mr. Well, no, I understand. Well, I figured I'd hang up and then call back.
That's probably Double A.
Yeah, you know what?
So
yeah, it does sound like it. It might be your phone, but we surprised you, so...
Call back.
No, it's not. I just hung up on her.
Oh, we're getting feedback, and it's not from
Rose.
Double A.
It's Rose. I guarantee you it's Rose. Not Lady Rose, but the confused lesbian. I can hear it. Trust me.
Put her on mute. I'll put her on mute on the board.
Yeah, put her on
There
mute
you
on the
go.
board. See if it takes care of it.
Okay, I got her on mute. Do we still have it? Yeah,
we do.
Somebody.
What are you hearing?
You can hear it echo. Now you
We're
can't hear
hearing
it
a
now.
10-second delay.
Well, I'm only on the phone, so it's not me.
Damn it. It must be Blog Talk Radio and it's bullshit.
It's got to be Blog Talk.
And I don't hear anything. Everybody is coming in clear on my end.
No, I hear it. I hear the delay conversation in the background. It's like a couple of seconds behind.
It's probably on Blog Talk because I dialed in.
Yeah. It sounds
Is it gone now?
It's the studio issue. Well, no, it sounds like it's gone now.
I hear it.
Weird.
Different.
Oh, yeah, now I hear it again, too.
We're fine. I'm fine. I'm not going to complain about it anymore. It's just one of those things. We got to go to a break. When we come back out of the break, we're going to try and talk about something else that's interesting. We're going to talk about somebody dating their father. I don't know why somebody would want to date their father.
Yeah, I heard that story.
Did you see the article?
So wrong. Yes.
Yeah, I read the article.
Did you?
I read all the articles.
Yeah, tune in, folks. It's a disturbing thing.
Weren't you kind of disgusted?
Yes.
I have no words.
I'm trying to figure out.
I want to know what the hell is wrong with New Jersey. If that's legal in New Jersey, there's something wrong with Jersey.
I thought it was only legal in the South.
Kind of a thing. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Your first cousin and all this crap was down south, but Jersey, you can marry your father in New Jersey. What?
But you want to know what? It's true because I'll tell you why, and I'm almost ashamed to say it, but I had first cousin marriage in my family, and it's a shame because the children that were born with health problems because of it.
Ooh, Lord.
I didn't think that was legal. I didn't think marrying first cousins and then on up from there was legal anywhere.
It's not legal, but my aunt did it.
Huh.
And I had two cousins that died from health situations because of it.
Are you serious?
I swear to God. I have no reason to lie. I'm ashamed to say it because I would have never thought that my grandfather, being the old-fashioned Italian that he was, would have allowed that.
I find that kind of odd.
So did I when I found out, and I didn't find out that they were first cousins until I was probably about 25. They kept it for most of the kids until they were old enough to understand what happened.
We're going to talk about this when we get back. We got to go to a break. We're going to talk about it when we get back. Guest call-in line, 347-205-9571. It's your man, MisterDirect. Double A has decided to join the party. We got Rose, K-Man, Lady Rose, Double D, and your man, MisterDirect, doing what I do best, just being a pain in the ass. the hanging tree from the Hunger Games, Mockingjay. You know what we do. Are you listening to Real Talk with your man, Mr. Direct, doing what he does best, bringing you nothing but real talk all the time. When we got off a break, we started talking about incest in families and how in certain states, certain people can get away with doing certain things. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, you're coming up on the last section of Real Talk, where this is usually where I hand the microphone over to Double D or the K-Man and let them do, even though this is the K-Man show. So next week, coming back, the K-Man will be in charge. Are we correct, K-Man?
The number you have dialed is no longer in service. Please hang up and dial again. Sure, why not? Absolutely.
Next week you will be back in charge of the show.
Thank you. My suspension is over.
You were never
graduated
suspended. You were.
I graduated from rehab.
Direct, you're gonna have to maybe cover for him on the 31st.
Why is that?
Because we have a veterans affair to attend to.
I could care less about your veterans affair, damn it. He's got responsibilities here, damn it. I pay good money. I pay him good money. You didn't cash that $2 check.
I can tell you right now that we'll be playing We'll be playing archive shows on Super Bowl Sunday. I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah.
That ain't happening.
I will tell you, I agree. And right now, for those of you watching the game, New England is up 31-7. They just intercepted another pass. They just intercepted another pass from Andrew Luck. The guy ran it down to, I think, about the 15-yard line. New England is about to score again. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, put the children to bed because New England is officially whipping that ass.
Yep.
Lord Jesus. I'm a little bit crushed, but we're gonna make it work. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the last part of this show goes out to Double D and the K-Man. They will be running it because Mr. Direct's got to go handle his blue ball situation. I shall return.
Oh, Lord.
Just what we needed to hear, right?
Yeah, well, you know, TMI. It's Real Talk.
I said that because I wanted to put Double A in shock.
I'm not shocked.
I don't think that would put anybody in shock, knowing you.
Yeah, really. I mean, if you're going to go to church, maybe we'd be in shock, but you know,
I would be in shock. Yes.
I'm sorry, I got to go to church. You know.
I've had
Hold
sex
up,
in the
wait
church.
a minute.
We'll
Let me put some church in it. Yeah. That'd freak me out right there.
That's for sure.
Like, where's the pod?
What are you silent for? You're in charge, Double D or K-Man. It's your show. Go.
No, I'm just sitting here suddenly feeling like I need to take a shower. So
I know you're reading that report, right?
Huh?
Yes,
I just
terrible
saw the
report.
I just saw the states that it is legal to marry your cousin in. Oh my God! And my family was living in New Jersey at the time, back in 19, I think, 30s.
It's like 15, 18 states you can get married if you're first cousin. I had no idea.
Crazy.
I had absolutely no idea.
And Georgia's one of them. So is New Jersey. So is New York. Oh my God! The only state that I don't see on here is California. No, it is on there. Second state from the top. Holy cow!
There you go.
But you know what's a shame? When you do marry within the first cousin range, the genes are so close, and it causes, and it's a shame because it should be not legal. It really shouldn't, because children are being born with diseases that they don't even get to the age of 30. It's a shame. I lost two cousins.
Yeah, okay, but still, getting back to this original story though of this girl announcing that she's going to marry her dad. I mean, now wait a minute.
Yeah.
That can't be legal anywhere. I can't believe that's legal anywhere.
I agree.
But they're apparently it's legal in Jersey, or is that what they're saying, that it's legal in New Jersey?
Here's what comes out of the New York Magazine article. An unnamed 18-year-old revealed in an interview that after her romantic relationship of almost 2 years with her biological father, and after being estranged from him for 12 years, that she is going to get married. She's going to marry him. The girl also says the two plan on having children. The teenager said her father reached out to her on Facebook when she was in high school, and soon after she went to stay with him for a week. After a week together, the 18-year-old said they had sex and started dating.
That's gross.
Yes.
Isn't it? It is.
She says,
so wrong.
Everyone on my mom's side of the family sees us as father-daughter, she told the magazine. Those who know that he's my dad and that we're engaged, including my father's parents, they can see we are happy together, and they can't wait for us to have babies. They treat us just like any other couple. The woman we live with, my best friend.
So even the grandparents are okay with this?
His grandparents. Her mother's side is of course, I'm sure, apoplectic. I mean, there's just no way. But
I have a question. Does it say how old they are?
Well, it said she was 18.
She's 18.
So I don't know how old her dad is, but after the wedding, the woman says they plan to move to New Jersey, where adult incest is legal.
It is?
In New Jersey, adult incest. So after you become an adult, you can date your biological parent, apparently.
Oh, my God.
I have a problem with that. So, all these people who are homosexuals are running into brick walls because they want to get married to each other, constantly get turned down by the courts. But this is allowed? Seriously?
I agree with you.
Tennessee.
I agree with you, Double A.
Tennessee, where you can marry your first cousin, you just can't marry your first gay cousin. Yes, that happens all over the place.
Sorry, that's fucked up.
Double B.
When you put it that way, it sounds insane.
Yeah. Okay. You can marry your cousin, you just can't marry them if they're gay. What?
Yeah, but that's going to go away pretty quick anyway. I mean, gay marriage is legal in 36 states now. The Supreme Court just announced it's going to take on a gay marriage case. They're going to find that gay marriage, banning gay marriage is unconstitutional. So the gay marriage thing's going to go away. So,
yeah, I think so too.
This is okay. Marrying your father for
right. That's everybody's start marching so you can marry your parents.
What the hell?
Okay, my issue is not even the marrying her father part is really fucked up. But the whole thing is, she's been having a romantic relationship with him for 2 years, and she's only 18.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So not only are you marrying your father, you've been fucking your dad since you were 16.
Oh, so gross.
That is gross.
I never even thought of it that way. They'd probably lock his ass up, depending on what state they're in and what the age of consent is.
Well, if they're in the South, the age of consent is 12.
Oh my God.
In some states, yeah.
Yes, in some states. Sorry, I should have rectified that.
No, I think they got responsible over in Mississippi and raised it to 14.
Did they?
Oh, well, there you go.
That's still wrong. Still wrong on so many levels.
Yeah, I know that, and I've actually read an article about this when I was in school, when I was in college, and called Genetic Sexual Attraction.
Oh, my God.
There was a study performed, although, you got to question the study because it was performed by a person who went through it themselves. So,
yeah.
But they're saying that there's this genetic sexual attraction that can happen between parents and estranged children.
When you say estranged children, what does that mean?
That means they weren't in the child's life while they were growing up, and then they meet when the person is an adult or almost an adult, and they have an
attraction
sexual
to each
attraction to one another. Yeah.
I had read about a study that was done sometime in the last couple of years. I read about it, how psychologists have indicated, or mental health people have indicated that they believe that there's there is a something in the human animal, in nature, that makes it naturally unattractive to be that you just don't get attracted to close relations. It's something that nature has wired into us to prevent that kind of thing.
Well, I guess they're finding more and more that they're seeing examples of like half siblings too.
Yeah.
You know, where they're seeing.
Well, I can understand that. Wait. When you say half sibling, you mean not have
like
the same father but the same mother?
Or they have like the same father, but they grew up apart, so they don't know each other. And the article
if you're not
that I was
knowing
able to
each
find
other
was
and
in
the parents aren't around, that's a different story. But
right.
I think that's so wrong. Now it would be different. Let's say, for instance, my first son is from a previous marriage, no relation to April whatsoever. If April fell in love with my son Robert and they got married, there's no relations whatsoever there. Yet they're cousins through marriage.
Right, but when they start talking first cousins, they're talking first cousins through
it's blood
biology.
Right.
Yeah, it's blood related. Right.
You know,
right.
You know, they talk about the genetic sexual attraction as being obsessive emotions with people that can turn into something like that. 50% of reunions between siblings or parents and offspring separated at birth result in obsessive emotions like this. A former police officer last month was convicted of incest with his half-sister. You know, one of those things where they met later in life. Yeah. It's, you know, so the actual, it's obviously a mental disorder. It's got to be some sort of, a mental disorder of some sort, because, as you're saying, Gary, I've heard that too. You know, we have wired with relations to not be attractive because it weakens the species. I mean, that's...
Yeah, nature supposedly wires it in to protect the genetics, to protect the gene pool.
Yeah, I mean, it's got a lot to do with the gene pool. I mean, children born within the same gene, it causes a problem with children.
Yeah, lots
I mean, not only is it crazy messed up that you want to be with somebody that's a close relation with you. I mean, it's just crazy messed up in the mind. But the big problem is genetically. You know, I mean, geez, even the cave people knew to stay away from that. You know.
Yeah. Well, the 6 conditional states where it was conditional, you could marry your first cousin. You had to be either both people could not be. It was like they can't reproduce at all, or they have to be above an age where they could reproduce. So the 6 conditional states in that
I would like to interfere for a second, please. I would like to say this. As a man who is adopted into my family, I've got some pretty sexy-ass cousins. But even then, still incest in my eyes. Because I've got some, my one cousin that I really think is really attractive, she's not really related to us. My second cousin married her mother, but she's not related to me at all. So technically she's like a cousin-in-law, and I would like to bone her, but I'm not going to try to bone her because she's like family. So I can see, you know, somebody's adopted into the family and they're cousins, but they're really not a cousin because it's really not blood. But if you blood related, you're going to have some retarded kids. I'm out.
Yes. And I could vouch for that because it does happen, and it's not that they're retarded. I mean, they can wind up retarded, but they also can wind up with health situations. Both of my cousins wound up with having, one of them had one kidney and wound up into kidney failure. The other was very slow on the uptake, and they both died at age 30. They didn't see 31.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tune in next week for another episode of XTube meets Ancestry.com.
It's sick, and it made me sick when I found out.
Well, okay, so this was like a family secret then, because you said you were in your 20s when you found this
I
out.
was 25 when I found out that my aunt married our first cousin.
It must have flipped you out. It's the first I've ever heard of it.
Flipped me out. I was mortified because of the fact that I had no concept as to why these two boys were so sick. They were so sick from the young age, and I couldn't understand it until when they told me, and I was unglued, and it's unfortunate. They lived in New Jersey, we lived in Brooklyn, and we very rarely got to see them. And when we saw my cousins, it hurts my heart. It really does, because they were two great boys, and for what they did to them, and they suffered. My aunt and uncle suffered for it because of what they did. They should have never had children. My aunt suffered with breast cancer for a very, very long time. They were both in nursing homes. They both were very sick. My uncle wound up with prostate cancer. My aunt wound up with breast cancer. Not saying that was the cause of it, but it was sickening. I was really, really hurt by it because they were two beautiful boys. And it was a sad. I cannot, and I am appalled at my grandfather for allowing it to happen, because he could have put a stop to it.
So it's not a thing where they eloped or anything, right?
No, they had a big wedding.
Wow.
Jeez. I got pictures to prove it.
Oh well.
My mother was my aunt's maid of honor.
I just don't understand what kind of thought process you would go through when you're sitting there in your own mind, sitting there looking at some close relation and going through the thought process of, yeah, this will be okay, I'm going to go for that. I can't even understand that thought process.
Neither can I.
That's so nasty.
It is.
Wow.
It's sickening.
You know, here, I did find a really good article on this, and they said less variety in one's DNA or children of incest, it increases chances for rare genetic diseases. And some of them, albinism for albinos, cystic fibrosis, hemophilia is on that list.
Yeah.
It also severely, according to this, an article by the Tech, it severely weakens the individual's DNA to a point where it actually weakens their immune system naturally.
Yeah.
Well,
I think
were
they
sick
have
constantly.
to go through like that state law, like that article you put up, Double B, where the states that there's one state that requires genetic counseling. I think any couple like that that's thinking about getting married should be sat down and made to watch Deliverance. And talk them out of it.
Well, and
I agree.
That was a big thing with the Appalachian people. You know, there was so much inbreeding, and that's why there was so much. And there's a great deal of people generations who died out just due to inbreeding.
Yeah, because, I mean, they all lived in little hamlets. There was no depth in the gene pool.
Right.
You know, within generations you were intermarrying because everybody was intermarrying in small groups. You know, you had a village down in the holler, and 300 people lived there, and they never left. And you
didn't have the knowledge. You didn't have the knowledge of what we have today. What could have caused it? I cannot believe that if the knowledge that we have today, at least I hope not, that my aunt and my uncle would have had children, knowing the knowledge that we have today, that they could have produced children that were sick, constantly sick, that they would have had children.
Right.
I don't know. That knowledge has been around for a long time there, Lady Rose.
I will say this to you guys, and this is something that I know firsthand. Now, granted, we're talking about first cousins. It goes towards what Gary was saying. A lot of slaves, when they formed towns after slavery, a lot of them had interbreeding with each other because they only could mess with each other because a lot of them wouldn't leave. You've got, I think my parents are 8th-generation cousins. My aunt and uncle are 5th-generation cousins. A lot of black families, if they've known each other all their lives, are generational cousins. Like, they can trace their lineage back to a certain amount of people. So
every Irish person can too. It's an island.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you have a predominant Irish heritage and you trace your lineage in Ireland, families intermarried. It took generations, but yeah, I mean, you got to understand when any island people, eventually it's not intentional, but eventually that does happen because it's a limited population.
What am I hearing?
Hey, who's got the television on?
Yeah, somebody's got a TV on or something in the background, man.
Thank you.
But, one of the most famous, Jerry Lee Lewis.
Yeah.
Rock performer, jazz piano player. His career got completely dashed after he married his 13-year-old cousin when he was 22.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did
Jerry
not
Lee
know
Lewis,
that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Jerry Lee Lewis, his career was on fire, and he married his 13-year-old cousin.
They made a movie about it, I believe.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Balls of Fire or something like that. Great Balls of Fire.
Wow.
Yeah, he was a loon. Anyway, 13-year-old. Jesus Christ. I mean, how many things can be wrong with somebody that you're going after 13-year-olds and you're related to them?
Listen, you guys brought it up, so we're going to talk about it. Jerry Lee Lewis and what's his name? Jimmy Swaggart, first cousins. Who the hell's got whatever? Anyway, I'm going to finish the conversation. The point being is he had any woman he could want. He had women throwing themselves at him. He wanted his 13-year-old cousin. That's who he wanted to be with. Ruined his whole career, his entire career, because he wanted to have sex with a 13-year-old little girl. That's how sick and depraved he was.
Yep. Sick and depraved isn't the word. I won't say what's on my mind.
But say it. He's a pedophile. Come on.
I mean, that's more than one condition going on at once. I mean, you're a pedophile because a 13-year-old.
That's what I said. I mean, how many things can be wrong? How many things can be wrong with you that you're going to marry your first cousin and she's 13 years old? I mean, what gene pool did you come from to begin with?
Exactly.
Yep. She was Myrna Gale Brown was her name. She was Lewis's first cousin, once removed, and she was his third wife.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
So he wound up marrying her.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. And she traveled with him to shows and everything. They were vilified.
They were a thing. Wow.
When he started doing shows throughout the South, they were boycotted. They were protested. I mean, violence and everything else because not only marrying your cousin, but also the fact that she was a kid.
That's sick. I'm sorry.
Well, the story broke in London, of all places, because of seeing them in Heathrow Airport at the time. And he was just starting a tour, and the uproar was so bad that the tour was canceled after 3 shows.
Yeah, I guess.
Crazy. Crazy.
But believe it or not, I mean, it does kind of show, too, how much more public ideals were about morality. You know, now we have all this reality TV shows where everybody's half naked and, screwing XYZ in order to have a career. When he did what he did, his tour was canceled. He was blacklisted from radio stations. There were a bunch of radio stations in this country that stopped playing his music altogether. They wouldn't even say his name.
Wow.
People were that just appalled. And, I don't know about you guys, but I happen to think that, what is his name? Woody Allen.
Oh, with his stepdaughter?
Yeah, Woody Allen, you can adopt a kid and then when she turns 16 start screwing her? I mean, really? I realize they're not biologically related, but is anybody else?
That's still sick.
I was appalled. Like, seriously, from the time he did that, and do you notice that after they got married, he left and hung out in Europe for like 3 years?
Well, he had to. He was blackballed.
I think there must have been a statute of limitations that he was waiting out overseas for what he did, because that cannot be legal.
I think he had to wait for her to be of legal age before he could come back into the States.
Yeah, but I think there was a question of whether he had waited till she was legal age. And,
right. I think
they were
he
investigating
went over
that.
to Europe, and I'll tell you this: I loved Woody Allen up until that point, and I've never watched a thing he did again.
Neither have I.
I won't. It's to me that's just
that's
sick.
a pervert. That's a sick person, and he needed help.
Yeah, she was a kid. She was supposed to be his kid, which is oh my God.
Yeah.
I was completely appalled by that. You know, it's one thing where people are appalled by an age difference. Oh, screw the age difference. Who cares?
Yeah, exactly.
If you adopted, and technically, you know, they got around the technicality. Well, technically, he didn't adopt her. Mia Farrow adopted her. So he was
then he
in her
married
life
Mia Farrow.
as her father.
Exactly.
Right. Even that's crazy to me. I mean, you know, a relationship, you build a relationship over the years as parent-child, even if it's a step situation or adopted. It's still a parent-child relationship emotionally.
Yeah.
You know, if I was a kid and everything, and I would feel betrayed, even if you were my stepfather or adopted father, mother, or whatever, I would feel betrayed. You know, I think I would anyway. God, I hope I would.
I know I would.
Yeah. I mean, does anybody else, Flower Petal, I don't know, Double A, I don't know if you guys want to weigh in, but did it bother you guys, the fact that he didn't seem to have any real repercussions for that? I mean, he's gone on and made more movies.
Well, I think part of the repercussions would be that a lot of people won't go see his movie, and therefore it's not going to make a profit. I know I certainly won't. Double D, you said you wouldn't.
I haven't watched any of his since he's done that.
Yeah.
Well,
and I'm sure a lot of other people feel the same way.
I've never been a huge fan of his anyway. Some of his stuff is just, to me, stupid. So
Amazon just signed a contract, I believe, with him to do a series for their for Amazon.
Are you serious?
I think so. Hold on, let me check it out. Woody Allen and Amazon. Somebody's got something playing in the background, so this is doubling up big time. If there's something going on between, Woody Allen creating a TV series for Amazon. It was on People.com 5 days ago. So he's creating a TV series. When you're a name, you're a name. Listen, at the end of the day, Hollywood is the most forgiving area you can go into, because no matter how bad you fuck up your name, as long as you don't go to jail, as long as you haven't committed murder, in some places you have, as long as you're out and about and you can generate money with your name, people will still, they'll pay, these companies pay some of these people millions, and these guys are assholes. Seriously.
You know, but we weren't always like that. I mean, do you remember the scandal? This is a really old one, but Fatty Arbuckle. You know, comedian, really funny, great guy.
Back in the silent days, yes.
Right, back in the silent days. He was accused of oh gosh, what was her last name? It was like Rapé or something like that. Victoria Rapé. This woman died at a party, like an after party that was at his place.
Right.
And he was accused basically of raping her to death. And he never even had sex with her. It turned out when they, got everything together and, some better people had taken a look at the medical examination and everything, not only did she not have recent sex, they thought she died from a botched abortion.
My God.
It was terrible timing. She just happened to be there when all this stuff hit, and she died. And he was accused of A, being a rapist, B, killing her. There was no foundation to it. He never lived it down. Nothing ever really, his career never got back in order. It's at one point, we weren't like that as a society. We were like, well, he makes good movies, so we don't care if he's, screwing his daughter. Like, really? Like, at one point in time, we didn't have that opinion. The public opinion was
the reason why people didn't care about the Woody Allen thing is, one, she was his adoptive daughter. Granted, it was wrong, but the allegations that other women have come up with about him like molesting kids and stuff was never founded. It was like Mia Farrow was saying it just to damage his reputation. And that's why people never really paid attention, because none of it was founded. Like, none of it. It's like, here's my problem, and they talk about this with Bill Cosby. I'm not saying that where there's smoke, there's not fire. But for me, why are you coming out 20 years later talking about it? What
exactly.
Happened? Did the check stop? Did you run out of the money that he gave you? So now all of a sudden, let's make it a big controversy. Why weren't you screaming for justice 20 years ago? I was in class and we were talking about it, and one of the girls was offended because I said they have nobody else to blame but themselves to come out 20 years later talking about it. And some weasel in the class was like, "How dare you talk like that about women?" And I looked at him in his face and told him to go fuck off. And he was like, "How could you say that rape is a woman's fault?" I didn't say getting raped is a woman's fault. I said, if you don't have the balls to talk about it when it happens, and then you bring it up 20 years later, you have nobody to blame but yourself when people don't believe you. You chose to shut the fuck up and not say a word. Now you're coming out 20 years later. "Oh, believe me, he raped me 20 years ago."
Yeah, because he's back on the circuit again and making more money, so now they want a part of it.
Is it plausible that he did it?
It's the same thing with this Bill Cosby thing. Nobody heard a word about anything. Yeah, nobody.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
I thought we were still talking
that's
about
what he's talking about, Daddy.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah,
no,
that's what I'm saying.
I do understand on one hand, you got somebody who wasn't really in the public eye and they come to the public eye and then some things that they did in the past comes to light. That's one thing. I haven't read as much about the Bill Cosby thing as most people or paid as much attention to it because as soon as I heard like the first three people, it was like, I'm sorry, I don't find the people, the first few who came out and said something, credible. Now, does that mean it didn't happen? It's like when those people were accusing Michael Jackson. Could it have possibly happened? Well, yeah, it could have. However, the people who came out and said that this kind of stuff was going on were definitely looking for a meal ticket. They were definitely looking for a payout. It's and on the one hand, it's really shitty. Because
and notice how now that he's dead, they're still not going. He's still got a lot of money. Why aren't they still going after him?
Yeah, nobody's going after it now, and that's that's a really big one. I mean, can people be falsely accused of this shit? Absolutely.
Yes.
And the thing that gets me is that there's really no recourse, and the worst thing is, I've seen and heard, people who didn't say anything when they were young. There's some very, very high up there professional women who were raped in college who never told anyone because they felt like it was their fault. So it's not like people can't come out years later and say, this is what happened to me because they're finally coming to terms with something bad that happened to them. That does happen. Don't want to discredit women who do because it's not just women. We got a lot of men who've been raped too, who never say a word, or when they finally do say a word, run the same kind of criticisms in the same, well, why didn't you fight back? Well, why didn't you say anything at the time? Well, it's a really, really emotionally, it's a physically kind of a terroristic act. It's an emotionally scary thing.
Well, why come out with it later then?
Right.
Why come out with it later? It's the same thing. It didn't change anything. You're still the same person. Why would you degrade yourself if it happened when you were younger? Why would you sit there and go ahead and bring it up now?
Yeah, that's a good point. I think in this day and age, I think in this day and age we're far past the point where people are afraid of being, or shouldn't be, as afraid to come out and tell the truth, from the start. But I don't know about you, K-Man.
Yeah, you know
what? I don't know if you're still there.
I I think it was a good show tonight. I want to thank everybody for calling in, and I want to thank MisterDirect for hosting. We'll do the circuit. Lady Rose, get ready. Get your hands dry. Get the soap off your hands and everything. You'll be coming up soon. Rose, say goodnight to everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Have a good one there, Rose. Lady Rose, you're on. Give your good night.
I'm here. Good night, everybody. Have a good one.
And Double D.
Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. We hope to hear from you next week on Real Talk. It's been great. Thanks.
And we'll see you soon. And congratulations on your great news there, Double D. We're looking forward to hearing more about it when you have all the news down and what's going on. Definitely want to look into that. Double A, are you still there? Double A dropped too. Okay, well, on behalf of all the folks here at Real Talk, I want to thank everybody for listening in. There's a rumor around that the K-Man and Double D be hosting the show next week. We'll look forward to that. Hope everybody has a good week. Everybody stay safe. Good night, everybody.